Tonight on the Black Channel, what exactly is the cost of benign neglect? Seems some people are about to find out. The Black Channel is live. Unapologetic, unadulterated, and absolutely uncompromising. Greetings, brothers and sisters from around the world, and welcome back to the home, the haven, the stronghold, and the everlasting superfortress of intelligent black thought. We are the Black Media, and this is the Black Channel, and I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the voice of Black America, the Black Authority, broadcasting to you live from the only historically black college and university of higher education and learning in the cosmos. You are, of course, welcome to join us. And join us you shall, because on tonight's program here, boy, I'm telling you, it's not easy being green, and it's sure as hell not easy dealing with black when you're going in the wrong direction here, folks. We're going to be touching tonight on the cost of benign neglect. Gotta tell you, the cost is going up. The cost of benign neglect, used to be dollar store, now it is luxury prices. I've been covering this. I've been saying this. I have never wavered on this. I've never moved off of this. In 2020, when there were folks talking about, well, Jason, you don't know what you're talking about. You just don't want to admit you wrong. I never wavered, never moved, never vacillated, never got off of it, not even once. And this coming in today from, ironically or coincidentally enough, the Today Show. Today, you take a look at the title of that video on their YouTube channel. You see the title of that. Trump takes lead over Biden for first time in NBC poll history. So if this is the number that they are admitting to, because you know they're biased as hell, but if this is the number that they're admitting to, what is the rest of their data telling them? If this is just the number that they're admitting to, what is it telling you when they get down to specific states and things? What are they finding out? Oh boy. Well, let's take a look and see if we can peer behind the numbers and see what might be going on.
Let's bring in Kristen Welker. She is, of course, moderator of Meet the Press. Kristen, good morning. Always great to see you. So you are going to roll out a new NBC News poll that's a really profound snapshot on where this campaign and where this country is right now. So we'll start this morning before you get to Meet the Press with the top line number. What are you finding there?
Willie, this is some really tough news for President Biden. For the first time in the history of our poll, former President Trump is beating President Biden in a head-to-head matchup by 2 points, so within the margin of error. But obviously, this is consistent with some of the trends that we are seeing. And part of what is so striking about this poll, the president's poll numbers are being dragged down with him getting low marks on his handling of the Israel and Hamas war. Pollsters saying that is notable because historically speaking, they have not seen a poll in which a foreign entanglement that doesn't involve U.S. forces on the ground has the ability to transform the electorate. So that is notable. The other notable piece of this, he's losing support among some of his key voting blocs, voters of color, women voters, independent voters, younger voters as well. Now, I've been talking to sources.
Voters of color? Really, Kristen? Voters of color. We covered this a week or so ago, didn't we? Didn't we just cover this last week where I took you a deep dive, poll after poll after poll? I showed one after another, that it is the black vote, specifically the black vote, that's giving them hell and giving them fits and taking them down. And now they're trying to do that little thing they do. Whenever black folk are taking the numbers down, well, this is because of the Palestinian-Israeli conflict. Why, that's what's weighing down on him. Anything and everything to keep from admitting this early into the election exactly what the issue is. This early doing that. So they're trying to deflect. Now, remember, when he loses, they're going to blame the black vote. When that happens, just like Prop 8 in California, well, if you Negroes had supported him like you're supposed to, then Trump wouldn't be back in office. That's what they'll be saying once they get really close to the election. That's what they'll say then. But for now, well, it's not really the black vote. I mean, the black vote is an issue here, but, this Israeli-Palestinian thing, this is really dragging you down. So that he doesn't have to spend the next year admitting that he hasn't done enough and focusing on that, and that becomes the issue. They're going to hang in there till the very last second. That's how committed they are to it.
On the ground has the ability to transform the electorate. So that doesn't involve U.S. because historically speaking, they have not seen a poll in which a foreign entanglement that doesn't involve U.S. forces on the ground has the ability to transform the electorates.
Because they don't. Is the black vote.
So that is notable. The other notable piece of this, he's losing support among some of his key voting blocs, voters of color, women voters, independent voters, younger voters as well. Now, I've been talking to sources inside Biden world, Democratic strategists who say that what they think the president needs to start doing is drawing a sharper contrast with former President Trump, who is, of course, the GOP frontrunner. He hasn't clinched the nomination. The votes haven't even started yet. But they believe that is the path to deal with this. Willie?
So interesting. And we've only scratched the surface here. Much more to come on those numbers on Meet the Press. Kristen, thanks so much. We will look for all of it on Meet the Press when Kristen is joined by Connecticut's Democratic Senator.
Well, might as well go ahead and hang that up there. So, yeah, buddy. Yeah, you never thought it was going to get this bad this damn fast. You never thought it was going to get this bad this quickly. But then again, for those of you who have been tuned in here to the headquarters of the new black media, for those of you who've been listening to me, hell, if you've been listening ever since 2016 when I walked it down from one state to another, and here we are all these years later, and they're telling you that, by the way, walking it down again, the states that Jason Black called back in 2016, the states that I called 7 years ago, coming back now and saying that those are the states that are swinging in a big direction for Trump, as I said it was before. What the hell happened? We've already taken care of that here a week ago. We already studied that before. We already documented that. We already dissected it. It was exactly what I said. It was exactly what I said. And it's only going to get worse from here, because the problem now is that you don't have enough old niggas anymore. As the years go on, every year, that boot-licking civil rights group that you could just depend on to just vote for you, and all you got to do is show up at the church house and give them a pat on the head, you can no longer depend on that. That's no longer dependable. Not at all. That's the real issue. So you're going to have to deal with what we want to talk about, or every year that number is going to get lower and lower. See, we're not cheerleaders for the Democrats. Can I just go ahead and lay some heavy vibes on you all right now? For most of you, your parents, and especially your grandparents, they cheerleaders for the Democrats. Whether the Democrats are winning or losing, they just sitting over there, sis boom ba, rah, rah, rah. They look at us like we're crazy because we actually say, what the hell are they doing for us? They ain't got to do nothing for you right there. You should just be glad they let you walk in the country right there, little nigga. That's the problem right there. You ain't grateful for what it is. I remember back in the damn day, back in the whole damn day, white folks used to call me nigga in the middle of the damn street, and I just used to say, well, thank you, Mr. White folks. Appreciate that right there. So me and John Lewis, that's what we did. Y'all young folks just don't appreciate it right there. See, it's a difference in mindset. We're not grateful to anybody for something that we built. We're not grateful. So now this is where the fundamental difference comes in. They know that we're different, but what they're looking to see is if they can call our bluff. That's what they're looking to see. Can we call? They think we're bluffing. If you all want to know what the perpetual strategy of the Democratic Party is, recognize this is what the perpetual strategy is. The perpetual strategy is that we just the young niggas, and this is what the Simone Sanders and the Mark Lamont shills and those people in the Democratic Party, Kamala Harris, this is what they tell the white folk of the Democratic Party. This is what the Roland Martins tell them. What those people tell them is, if these young niggas out here get out of line, you need to get up in their face. See, you can't talk to them politely. You gotta show them who boss. Get up in their face. No, we ain't gonna do nothing for you. That's how you talk to them. You don't play nice. You got to get up. See, you listen to their music and look at the movies they watch. You got to get up in their face. You got to be aggressive and let them know, we ain't going to do nothing for you. Now, you need to go ahead and vote, and you need to also back the Hispanics, and you also need to back the LGBT and the immigrants, because that's what it's going to be. So, and just be glad that we do anything for you. Everything for you going to be indirect, but just be glad we do anything for you at all. And that's what they told them. But they also told them one more thing. They told them, well, even if they do get upset, they're going to take to the streets. They're going to get mad. They're going to vent. And then they're going to shut up and go home and vote blue no matter who. Now, that's what the Roland Martins, the Simone Sanders, the Michael Eric Dysons, the Mark Lamont Hills, that's what they tell the white folk who lead the Democratic Party. That we, the rank and file, that even if we do get up and take the streets, even if we do stand up and start expressing our issues, that we're just going to vent. And if just let them niggas sit over there and vent, let them get out of their system. And then when they finally are done venting and done yelling, they're going to get out of their system eventually, and then they're going to vote blue no matter who. That's what's going to happen. So first you tell them, shut the hell up, nigga, we ain't going to do nothing for you. And then if they do really get upset, well, don't worry, they're going to vent. And when they're finally vented out and they've already lost all their energy, then they're going to come vote for you. If you want to know what it is that they do, while Jason, it seems like they go around in circles, they're rerunning the playbook, because as far as they're concerned, we're going to run out of steam. And once we run out of steam, then when it comes down to it, we're going to show up at the poll. Well, man, Biden ain't did no. Well, we can't let Trump win, though. We can't let Trump win, though, man, brother. Hey, we got to do that, but we can't let him win, brother. So that's what they're counting on. That's what they're counting on. And our job is to show them you got another voice coming. Our job is to show them you got another thought coming. This isn't going to be second verse same as the first. This isn't going to be more of the same. Not going to be that. Not at all. You're looking at the new way under the sun. You see, let me explain something to you all. I want you all to, for those of you who are not over the age of 40, 45, and you haven't really studied your history, I want you all to be aware of exactly, what it was and what it looks like there. I want you all to be aware of that, of exactly what that was there, because if you haven't studied your history, then you don't know exactly what it was that was going on at the time. You might not have seen these things. And if you hadn't seen these things, then you don't know what was actually happening at the time if you saw it. That's the problem. Without that, you don't know what the real events actually were. So if you don't know what those real events actually were, then you don't realize. I want to show you something here. And hopefully I don't get a copyright anything on here. I want to show you this. 1945, the death of President Franklin Delano Roosevelt and the funeral train for President Roosevelt, 1945. So you're talking about the middle of World War II. The middle of World War II, and need I remind you, American white soldiers were in the mess hall eating next to Nazi German white soldiers, but not next to their fellow black American soldiers. Franklin Roosevelt died in the middle of this. And I just want you to take a look at this on your screen here. And if you look, this is the train that was carrying his body. The train that was carrying him, you see soldiers outside and whatnot, the train that was carrying him. But as you're looking along the streets there, you start to see something. When you're looking along the streets, you start to see something here. Oh, wait a minute. As they're going down the streets, you start to see things. Just thought we'd point that out. If you're going down the streets, you see civilians standing around. Oh, wait a minute. Interesting there. Yeah, you all thought I was making a mistake earlier, huh? You thought I was making a mistake earlier, didn't you? For some of you out there, we're not very sure. Jason, are you sure it was? Are you sure it's what you're implying? No. Oh no, I meant it. I sure did. There's plenty of footage of black folk standing around as the train was coming by to show their respects. You know, at the height of Jim Crow and segregation, there were black folk lined up all over the place. All over. I just wanted to make sure you all understood that. There were black folk lined up all over the place. So you see, if you don't understand that part of it, then you don't understand what the mindset and the attitude, which is why these folks are just amazed. They're amazed that we are not like these other folk. They're amazed that we're not like the civil rights and World War II generation. They're amazed that we're not like that because for the last 70 years, they could count on this type of obeisance. Look it up. They could count on this type of adherence to whatever they were throwing out there, that we were just going to show up no matter what, man. Historically, they have been able to count on us to accept our role as the abused bastard stepchildren. The old niggas taught them that you could do this. That you could do this and we would show up no matter what. That we were just grateful to be standing on the soil no matter what. Meanwhile, when they left away from this train yard, they got to go back to their segregated neighborhoods and folks being redlined and every damn thing else going on, living in poverty. And this is what they showed up. Yeah, we're grateful just to be here. Decades they've been doing that. So when the Roland Martins show up and say, don't worry, they're going to complain for a little bit. They're going to vent for a little bit. Then they're going to go back home to it. Just understand what it was that taught them this. Just understand who it was that taught them this. And then we showed up. We here and they like, wait a minute, these young niggas done lost their minds. There's no way that they gonna stand 10 toes down and stick by this. No way they're gonna go all the way with this. So what they've been conditioned to do is think that they're going to play chicken with us and it's going to be a game of blink and that we're going to blink first. And they don't understand we're not going to blink first because we're not even sitting in front of you. Right now, as far as we're concerned, there is no difference between you or Trump. So you better try a hell of a lot harder to convince us that there's a difference, and the only difference we listening for is cut the check. That's the only difference that we are listening for. Cut the check. Ain't nothing else gonna do. Nothing else is going to do. Reparations across the board. We are not here for a pat on the head or to sit up here and show up one of your parties or you come to one of our churches. Nah, why don't you stay in Washington, send that check? Or if you coming down here to church, bring that check with you. Bring that with you. But if you ain't bringing it, we ain't got nothing to discuss. So they're telling themselves that we're gonna blink. That's what they're saying. That's what they're thinking. And here's the problem. The problem is right now, Biden doesn't need half of us to not show up or to not vote Democrat. He don't need half of us to do that. People, if 15% either don't vote for Biden or don't vote at all, it's over. The margin is just that slim. It's just that slim and getting slimmer. Just that slim and getting slimmer because, oh man, this just in from California. Well, folks, oh man, listen to what's happening out there in California. ABC 10, the California Democratic Convention, was canceled amid a large Gaza ceasefire demonstration. Oh boy, is it going from bad to worse out there?
Protesters took over the streets around the California Democratic Convention in downtown for hours today. And tonight, the convention shut down early due to security concerns. New information from police saying about 2,500 people had gathered today at the peak of the event. As ABC 10's Garj Palsanga reports, the crowd called for a ceasefire in Gaza.
That message echoed across the streets of downtown Sacramento. Inside the Safe Credit Union Convention Center, protesters made their ways through the door as the California Democratic Party was hosting day 2 of its endorsing convention.
This is what is needed to make movement on this issue.
Fatima Iqbal-Zubair with the California Democratic Party Progressive Caucus says this protest took place because party leadership was not listening.
We have tried everything we can. We've tried sit-ins at offices. We've done letters with, hundreds of signatures, and nothing has worked. And we have babies in incubators who are dying, where there are people and bodies that can't be found. This is what's needed.
This was the second time protesters disrupted the convention. Earlier in the day, around 100 protesters held a sit-in inside the convention, forcing some events to be suspended. By Saturday evening, party leaders canceled the day's remaining meetings and votes, citing safety concerns.
Oh boy, they're showing up out there, aren't they? Yeah, they saw us in 2020 and said, look here, man, we can, if it worked for them black folk, it can work for us. Yeah, buddy, I'm telling you, he can't afford anything. He can't afford to have major defections right now. He's having to deal with these minor defections. He can't afford major defections. The Democrats across the board can't afford major defections. They can't afford that. Well, don't worry. Them Negroes gonna run out of steam and get out of their systems. Oh, hell, we ain't slowing down now. Here comes some more folk. Yeah, it ain't gonna be no free rides this time around. There will be no free rides. You are gonna deliver the goods? Because we ain't gonna show up in the streets for what we gotta do. For what we gotta do, we're not gonna show up in the streets. And people, let's be very, very clear. They keep track of these numbers because they must. They must keep track of these numbers. They have to. Because they need to know exactly what percentage of the black population is still looking to politics for their solutions and what percentage is looking for a extra political solution. So they need to keep track of exactly who is still checking for politics and who isn't. That is of critical importance. Who's still checking for politics and who's like, forget politics. So they got to keep track of that. When they watch their numbers, they're going to do what they always do. They're going to count how many black folk voted last time. Then they're going to count how many black folk voted this time, because they know that we didn't just vanish into thin air. They know we didn't just vanish into thin air. If you all agree with what I'm saying here tonight, give me the green check mark emoji in the chat room and hit the likes button. It's over 4,000 people in here live right now, but only 1,500 likes. It must be a bunch of Biden supporters. I don't know what's going on. If they're not liking what I'm saying, let me go ahead and just end it here. It's not going to change the truth of what I'm saying, but if you all agree with what I'm saying here tonight, give me the green check mark emoji and hit the likes button for me. Over 4,400 people in here live. You're not going to hear this from anybody else. Going over the facts and the figures and numbers and the effect of these things. What's giving you trouble out there? What's giving you trouble? That's because these folks weren't paying attention. They thought these were minor things that were going to go away. Now they're finding out that this is actually a tsunami that's been building for years now, and it's not dying down. Roland Martin misinformed you. Let me tell you all one more thing. If Biden loses this election, Roland Martin is probably going to go in on the Democrats 24/7, because they're going to let him know, you're useless to us. They're going to let him know that he's useless to them, and that because he is unable to move the needle and the things that he said didn't come to pass and he's unreliable, and he's lost his end. So just recognize he's got concerns, and he should. Whole bunch of folks out there begging for crumbs, and they're very concerned, and they should be. And they should be. If they were hoping that things were going to get better, oh man, they are not going to get better. As a matter of fact, they're going to get exponentially worse. But, before they do, just recognize that the dirty little tactics and dirty little tricks of Joe Biden and his Democratic henchmen, recognize they're kicking it into overdrive, folks. They have decided that they are going to have a buffer class counterinsurgency. Oh no, I'm not kidding. They've got the buffer classes here have been catching it from one side and the other. That buffer class strategy has been going badly. So now they're showing you that, we're going to see if we can take a different tactic in order to use the buffer classes to attack the black population here in America. We're going to go into details into that here in just a moment. Before we do, we're going to take a very brief commercial, non-commercial break. I'd like to thank everyone who has contributed to support tonight's program on PayPal, CashApp, Super Chat, Venmo, to my man Andrew L., Mr. Richburg, my man Chadwick, and everyone else here who is live or recorded. Thank you very much for your support. We appreciate that. Folks, a new buffer class strategy is kicking off, and not just in one place. This is a concerted effort across the board, and they're targeting us with it. Details coming here shortly. This is the Black Channel.
Hello, my name is Steve Burgess, and I'm the author of this book, Guidelines for the Successful Student, a closer look at parenting your school-aged child. In this book, I've explained the role of the parent and the student, in addition to what accommodations, procedures, rewards and consequences and expectations that need to be in place to ensure student success from primary to high school. This book is available on Amazon.com. For more information, please visit my link tree at Easy One-on-One, and to access my latest podcast, A Teaching Moment with Mr. B. Thank you all for listening.
A white supremacist assassin seeks revenge. Corrupt FBI agents with evil intentions. dangerous black collaborators dedicated to treason. Occam Jeffers must defeat them all and somehow survive. One misstep and he's a dead man. Join Occam Jeffers as he looks the devil in his blue eyes and tells him, Black first. A sequel to the underground hit War of the Heart, Spirit of 1811 Publishing presents God Love Us, on sale at Amazon. Pre-order and save today. Visit spiritOf1811publishing.com and show your love.
I am America's stepchild, and this is my diary. This diary is dedicated to the descendants of American slaves. Born in the projects, ass out, the beginning was the end for me. No time to pout, born in the projects, ass out, the beginning was the end for me. After 20 years of silence since the Miami Beach police assaulted me and almost killed me for absolutely no reason without being held accountable, with the support of the white supremacy religion system, namely judges, lawyers, and municipality, I tell my story.
Order yours today to experience all the benefits of Ash Kickin' natural body butter. With skin so smooth and soft, you'll thank us for it. Shop Ash Kickin' online. That's ASHKICKIN.com.
Hi, this is Brenda Starr, creator of Poetry with a Purpose and author of the book Pressed But Not Crushed. Pressed But Not Crushed is an anthology of political poems that address current and historical issues in American descendants of slave population and African American population. The book describes slaveries and its residuals, Jim Crow segregation, social depredation, and other relevant issues to American descendants of slaves and African Americans, including the current political climate that does not address our issues.
This is The Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. Very glad to be with you all here this evening. And folks, they have made a new frontier, a new turn in the buffer class strategy here. You're starting to see this all turn up at the same time, which means that this is a concerted, conscious effort. And of course, we know who they're targeting with it. This coming out of Chicago. Let me go ahead and play this for you here. This is coming out of Chicago from ABC 7.
A bus of brand new arrivals pulls up at the 12th District Police Station today. While migrants continue to arrive daily in Chicago, the amount is not nearly as many as it was over the summer when daily bus arrivals were in the double digits. Today, the city is expecting only 2 buses. Volunteer Luciana Diaz says the Halloween day snow was a reality check for many living at the police stations.
The snow day, it was freezing for everybody, and I told them that's nothing. This is nothing, guys. You should start looking for a shelter or go to other state, other city.
With the realization of a cold winter ahead, combined with the lack of shelter and jobs, many migrants we spoke with at the 1st and 12th District Police Stations say if given the opportunity, they would leave Chicago for another city. Diaz.
Now, did you hear that? Don't worry, it keeps going, but did you hear that?
Many migrants we spoke with at the 1st. With the realization of a cold winter ahead, combined with the lack of shelter and jobs, many migrants we spoke with at the 1st and 12th District Police Stations say if given the opportunity, they would leave Chicago for another city. All
right, folks. Years ago, there was a famous Richard Pryor special, and, he talked about that, and he was damn sure right. Because those of us from the South, the first time that any of us from the Southern United States screwed around and messed up and ended up in Chicago in wintertime, we found out a brutal awakening. Never will forget my first time going to Chicago in January. I went to Chicago one time in January. I actually had driven up there, and I thought I was doing pretty good because it wasn't snowing. So I wound up staying at a hotel out there near O'Hare because I figured it'd be easier to leave if I needed to and whatnot. Had a rental car, but figured it'd be easier to leave the car there and stuff like that and do my thing and keep going. Man. Actually, no, correction. It wasn't January. It was like November. Correction. It wasn't January. It was November. So I figured, well, I'll be okay. I know because Christmas lights were still up at the time. Man, I figured it was overcast. It wasn't snowing. I'll be okay. Man, Chicago wakes your ass up with no delay. I'm talking about all just outside with it was like what Richard Pryor said was true. The wind, just the wind was so cold. It was like, oh man, are you kidding me? Just the wind, no polar vortex. This is just what Chicago is. So man, just the wind blowing. That was it. That was it. Chicago is no joke. Everybody talks about New York, Detroit. Man, Chicago is brutal. Without the snow. They don't even need snow to be brutal in Chicago. Just the wind alone will make you want to pack up your things and leave. I was there. And I've traveled a bunch of places. Chicago is as advertised. You don't want to be there when Chicago starts doing what it does. You don't. Now imagine you done brought your happy ass all the way up from Tijuana, Mexico. Talking about I'm going to find. You came marching all the way up here in September thinking you were going to have a new life in the city with no pity. By November, you thought you were going to be okay. When you saw on the news all those tents out there, you done left Tijuana, Guadalajara, Mexico City, talking about I'm going to Chicago. Man, look here. Do they sell coats down there in Tijuana? Because you gonna need it. I hope you brought it with you because you gonna need it. Now, I'm not talking about a windbreaker. That's what I'm saying. This dude over here, this is silliness that I'm seeing here. This is insanity that I'm seeing. Dude, what are you wearing? Folks, do you see him? This is the definition of unprepared. You in Chicago in the snow. Folks, what is he wearing? This man has a death wish. This is the definition of wasn't ready. He was ready to walk, but he wasn't ready to stay. You're not ready to stay here, dude. You're not ready for this. He ain't gonna make it. If somebody at Burlington Coat Factory don't throw him something, he's not gonna make it. He just isn't. He's just not. Do you see he's wearing gloves and rubbing his hands together? Yes, that is how cold Chicago is. He's wearing gloves and still rubbing his hands together. He's like, whoa, how y'all niggas make it up here? Whoa. They didn't say any of this in the travel brochure. So yes, he found out the city with no pity ain't trying to have it. Ain't trying to have it. He walked all them miles to get up here, and now he's like, oh, wait a minute. Y'all didn't say it does this. Why, the white folks who told me to come up here, the brochure said, there's lakefront property, and that's what I saw. He didn't say any of this. Well, don't worry, folks, because the locals have come up with a plan for them.
Shelter and jobs. Many migrants we spoke with at the 1st and 12th District Police Stations say if given the opportunity, they would leave Chicago for another city. Diaz says some migrants even want to go back to their home country.
They have an American dream, for in my opinion, is a fake American dream. So they asking me a lot for if I know somebody who can buy a ticket flight for them to come back to Venezuela.
Now, did you hear that? One more time.
They asking me a lot for if I know some. So they asking me a lot for if I know somebody who can buy a ticket flight for them to come back to Venezuela.
I mean, how the hell you came up here from Venezuela with your hand out? Now you're up here saying, "Ooh, can I get another handout?" Venezuela, I'm a refugee. I'm scared for my life. We ain't got no beds for you in Chicago. Oh, can you give me a ticket back to Venezuela? What happened to your accident? Yeah. Can I get a ticket back? Can I get a ticket back to Venezuela? Chicago is putting it on their ass. All it took was a little bit of snow in Chicago, and they said, "Oh, man, look here. Can I go back to Venezuela? It don't snow down there in Venezuela. Can I get a ticket back there? Yeah. Y'all city is too much. Can I get a ticket back to Venezuela? I thought you all were refugees. I thought your lives were in danger. That's what you done had the news media telling about. Your lives are in danger. Then like, yeah, no, man, we just kidding. Can I get a ticket back home? I ain't trying to deal with the snow. But it goes beyond that, folks.
Want to go back to their home country.
They have an American dream. For in my opinion, it's a fake American dream. So they asking me a lot for if I know somebody who can buy a ticket flight for them to come back to Venezuela.
Sixth-Ward Alderman Will Hall, who traveled to the border a few weeks ago, says word is spreading on social media among migrants that Chicago may not be the best place to come. And border nonprofits say not as many people are asking to come to Chicago.
Well, people are beginning to get informed that it's cold, the opportunities are scarce, and that unless you want to sleep on a concrete mattress, don't come. And that's what those who have come seeking asylum have said.
Jorge Barrera has been living at a police station for 6 months.
Wait a minute, back that up. What did I just see?
Asylum have said.
Jorge Barrera has.
Yeah, right there. What? Carrie Locks, is this what is this what y'all do in Chicago, Carrie? Is this what they doing? What type of refugee is he? What type of refugee is this? Somebody explain to me what type of they done set up barber chairs? Folks, he's got a barber chair right by his tent. Man, if y'all don't come grab his ass and drag him back where he came from, he is struggling what? Is this some kind of joke? They done set up a whole barber chair on the sidewalk in the middle of the tents. People, it's on video. Do you see this? I'm talking about, what is this, pleather bound? He done set up a whole barber chair just right there. Here we go. Yeah, because you wouldn't want to go without a fresh cut. You wouldn't want to go without a fresh cut. Can't you see he needs help? Can't you see he needs assistance? Yeah, because that $9,000 that they gave them for housing ain't gonna cut it. They don't just need housing and health care. They need housing, health care, and haberdashery. Look it up. Housing, health care, and haircuts. Shout out Carrie Locks in the super chat. I'm just trying to keep it real for Chi-Town. Y'all ain't never seen, I've seen a lot of things in Chicago. I ain't seen the brother set up a barber chair in front of Harold Washington Center. I ain't seen that. You all tell me. I have not seen a barber chair set up down by the Bean. I ain't seen that. I have yet to see a barber chair on Halstead in front of the chicken place. I ain't seen it. So maybe y'all can show me some footage of Chicago or something I've never seen before. What in the hell is this? What in the hell is this?
Concrete mattress, don't come. And that's what those who have come seeking asylum have said.
Jorge Barrera has been living at a police station for 6 months.
No tenemos el dinero
With no opportunity to work here, the 39-year-old...
All right, folks. Dude, was that before or after bruh started cutting your hair? Okay, you gonna think I'm roasting him. Sir, is this before or after they started cutting on your hair? That's what I'm trying to find out, folks. Was this the before or after? Did y'all interview him first and then he got his hair cut? Because I'm like, bruh, if this is the haircut dude gave you, I hope they gave you a pair of brass knucks with your refugee package, because dude owes you some money. Y'all need some new clippers, okay? While y'all are sitting up there going around shoplifting, he needs to go shoplift some new clippers. If that's the best he could do. Carrie Locks, hey, bruh, I don't know what building they sitting in front of. I know you know what building this is. Hey, dude is not getting service, okay? Dude is not getting no service. Do you see this? Man, okay. He came all the way up here, and this is the haircut, man. They coming straight to the south side. They're coming straight to the south side. They want to be with some folks who are going to be able to do some hair, y'all. Come on now. Come on. You all, am I roasting him or am I just reporting the news? I mean, he thought he was getting a fresh cut, too. You see him sitting there, he's looking all serious, like he's getting ready to go do a video with Fat Joe, and then I'm like, oh, he turned over here, like, oh, hey, bruh, dude didn't finish. Hey, I hope you didn't pay him yet, because he didn't finish. I hope you didn't pay him, because he's not done. He's not done yet, dude. I hope you ain't getting happy just yet. Maybe you can get, he got you looking janky. You might want to go get your money back. I don't know how you paid him. Cash, cigarettes, Little Debbie snack cakes, whatever it was, go get it back. He's not finished with your hair yet. Furthermore, I don't know if you want him to finish. Because I'm like, I don't think this is going in the direction you think it's going in. I don't know what kind of look he's trying to give you, but whatever that direction is, you might want to just stop him now. It's just like, all right, brother, I'm good. Just quit now. Somebody said Barber College. They having Barber College on the damn sidewalks. Look here, man. I bet your old boy told him, I do plenty of hair back where I come from. I bet you that's what he told him. I bet you he told him, I do great hair back in Guatemala. Don't worry, back in Guatemala, I'm the number one man back in Guatemala. I'm the number one man. And then I'm going to be on the news? Oh, I got to get a fresh cut. Hey, they're going to interview me on the news. Can you shape me up right quick? I sure can. I'm the number one dude back in Guatemala. I'm number one. They love me back in Guatemala. I'm number one. Then he got right in front of the camera. Wasn't no smarter about it. He didn't know what was going on. And he just like, oh, he looks upset too. By the way, look at him. He looks upset. Is he upset about Chicago or is he upset about that messed up ass haircut he just got? Yeah, when you talk about dineros, okay, we all know what dineros are, but I'm like, oh, is he upset with Chicago? Yeah, and the nigga, he said his clippers was sharp. The nigga took all my money.
The 39-year-old says he would leave.
Yeah, just, okay. Yeah, he looks mad as hell. I'd be mad too. If that was my shape up, I'd be mad as hell too, but you mad at the wrong folk. Go back and grab that fella with the Lakers jersey and tell him, hey, bro, break my bread. I'm not paying you. You need new clippers. Did you use hair clippers or hedge clippers? What kind of clippers did you think I meant?
At a police station for 6 months.
No tenemos el dinero.
With no opportunity to work here, the 39-year-old says he would leave, but he doesn't have the money or luxury to pack up and go to warmer places like California, Texas.
Oh, wait a minute, Carrie! If you were cutting somebody's... Oh, no, y'all, okay. I interrupt this broadcast to give you all a grooming. Carrie, y'all, have you ever seen a barber who grabs somebody's head like this while he was shaping him up? Come on now. How many of us have been to a damn barber shop and the barber had gripping your head like a basketball while he's shaping you up. You know there's no damn way you can get a good cut here. Carrie, where y'all bringing these people in from? Come on, folks. Do you see the way he's manhandling this man's mop top? Do you see that?
But he doesn't have the...
I'm not making this up. Look how he move your head forward, nigga. Folks, how is he gonna get the hair shaped up like this? Come on now. And don't get me wrong, in California, you got some legit, some legit white Latino barbers. They know what to do with some clippers. They need to come make a trip to Chicago. They need to come, to the white Latino barbers in LA and New York. Y'all need to come make a trip to Chicago. It's the game about to get janky as hell out there. Folks, do you see the way he's gripping dude's head? Come on, to the mothers in the chat room, even the single moms, when you take your kids to the barber shop, what would you be thinking if that man had his hair? I'm gonna clip your son's hair here. We're gonna get him shaped up, and he's sitting up here smushing down. Come on now. Folks, yes, build that wall. No. Wall, W-A-H-L. You know the clippers? Build that wall. Or go buy one or rent one. Build that wall. Wall clippers. And y'all talking about giving these folks rent. Send his ass to hair college. What is going on in this picture? Come on now. What is this? And dude, you could tell from the look on his... Oh, he looks so sad here. Look at his face. He knows he's getting effed up. He knows the haircut is getting screwed up and he knows it. But now he's along for the ride. He belongs to the game and he knows this ain't right. Y'all can see it. Look at the look on his face. He knows this isn't right. He knows this isn't going to go well. He knows this is going to look bad. He's just like, I'll be damned. You can see the look on his face. Oh, hell, I know this is going to be bad. I know it's going to be awful. Folks, man, look here. Bruh, this is what you get. This is what you get. Welcome to the city with no pity. I hope he left you enough hair for the brothers to get you straightened out because this is gonna be it.
For 6 months.
He's 39 years old, and this refugee barber done gave him the mama's boy mop top. He done gave him the mama's boy mushroom. You know, all these mama's boys out there today. All these mama's boys out here today. You see them all over the place. That little fella who got what's her face? The tennis player Naomi Osaka. Her little boyfriend got the mama's boy mushroom. Blueface, he got the mama's boy mushroom. Yeah, dude thought he was coming in to get faded up and 39 years old and ended up with the mama's boy mushroom. Oh, I know he didn't think this was going to happen in Chi-Town. I know he wasn't expecting this. Take a look at his face here. And the hand, this wasn't no mistake. Oh boy thinks he's doing good technique. And you see his face right here. So take a look at his face here and then take a look at his face in a couple minutes when they change camera angles. So he started back there and then take a look at his face later.
Jorge Barrera has been living at a police station for 6 months.
No tenemos el dinero.
With no opportunity to work here, the 39-year-old says he would leave, but he doesn't have the money or luxury to pack up and
okay, he look a lot more upset now.
Go to warmer places.
Boy, did you see how his eyes just changed? Take a look at his eyes when the dude pushed down on his head. He knows it's going bad. Look at his eyes.
Or luxury to pack up and go to warmer
places. Hey, what you doing up there? Hey, He knows it ain't right. Hey, hold on. I don't have my hair cut a bunch. What is you doing back there? I know this ain't going right now. I know it's not.
Or luxury to pack up and go to warmer places like...
All right. Okay. There you go. Hey, you pay your money, you take your chances. You pay your money, you take your chances. You pay your money, you take your chances. Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago.
Have said.
Jorge Barrera has been living at a police station for 6 months.
No tenemos el dinero.
With no opportunity to work here, the 39-year-old says he would leave, but he doesn't have the money or luxury to pack up and go to warmer places like California, Texas, or Miami. Despite a migrant...
Now you heard that? He doesn't have the money to go to warmer places.
And go to warmer places like California, Texas, or Miami.
California, Texas, or Miami. Texas doesn't want you. California can't take you. And Florida's trying to figure out how to get rid of as you can. And he's trying to figure out how he can smuggle his way down there. Hey, bro, you need to worry about that chili bowl old boy's putting on you. That's what you need to worry about. You need to worry less about wind chill and more about chili bowl. That's what you need to be concerned about. While you sitting up here trying to figure out where else you gonna go and this is some vacation tour you going on. Worry about that mop top old boy's shaping you up with. Worry about that used toothbrush look that he got going on. You got bigger issues to see about. So as you can see in Chicago, they're trying to scatter and go somewhere else. Well, Chicago isn't the only place that now they're trying to figure out how to get the migrants, illegal aliens, out of. In New York City, this is from Cash Jordan's YouTube channel. In New York, they starting to fly them out of town in New York. No, I'm serious. Fly them out.
Visual state of chaos.
Free plane tickets. That might sound insane, but once you find out why the city's doing it, it might make a lot more sense.
No, it doesn't make more sense, but literally he's showing you, yeah, we want to fly them out. Free plane tickets. So let me get this straight. All them hoes. Did you say hoes? I damn sure did.
And deal with it, nigga.
All these hoes out here been trying to scrap together money during the holiday season because the dude that they was talking to or they baby daddy who they got pregnant from on Tinder and they can't really figure out where he was, but they kind of remember the last place, that last pizza shop her and him went to. They've been trying to get their money together for a plane ticket the whole damn time here. New York City is talking about giving free plane tickets to damn me where?
Will everyone agree with it? Probably not. More than 130,000 people have come to New York out of room. The only thing left to do is offer people free flights or something much housing, whether or not it's even up to the city's own fire code. And this means that the city has less shelter space than it thought it had. And now that the city's completely out of room, the only thing left to do is offer people free flights or something much worse than a free flight, which we'll get to. And you see this handwritten set of instructions?
You see that?
This is what the city is giving to people who've lost their bed in a shelter or who are waiting for shelter placement a few days over the next few years. And this comes at a time in the last year. The city said it brings. Will everyone agree with it? Probably not. More than 130,000 people have come to New York seeking asylum, and that's just within the last year. The city's at a breaking point and no longer has the resources to care for new arrivals. Now, plane tickets are quite expensive, especially international ones, but it's probably cheaper than the $12 billion projected cost of this crisis over the next.
Now, you heard that, international? So they're talking about these folks who smuggled their way up here, you talking about paying for their trip back? Tell them, hell no, Esmeralda, if you could hot-foot it up here, get your ass on Interstate 65 and hot-foot your ass back. So she could walk 3,000 miles to get up here. Oh, that's good. You can walk another 500 to get back. You can walk another 500 to get back. Free plane tickets. For somebody who isn't even supposed to be here? Now they come up here, oh, I wasn't supposed to be here. I broke in your house. Can you give me a plane ticket back?
Few years. And this comes at a time when the city's own shelters are being shut down for fire code violations.
Breaking news now, another shelter for asylum seekers has been shut down over safety concerns. This one is in Midtown.
The mayor's office tells us about 130 men were moved out earlier today due to an inadequate fire alarm system.
So shelters are being shut down
130 men? Don't you mean 130 potential assailants?
all over town, and that's because the city is using any building it can find as emergency housing, whether or not it's even up to the city's own fire code. And this means that the city has less shelter space than it thought it had. And now that the city's completely out of room, the only thing left to do is offer people free flights, or something much worse than a free flight, which we'll get to. And you see this handwritten set of instructions? This is what the city is giving to people who've lost their bed in a shelter or who are waiting for shelter placement. A few days ago, the city started removing people from the shelters after they've been there for 30 days. And in another couple of weeks, families who've been there for 60 days with kids, they're going to be moved out too, which is really sad. But New York's right to shelter rules prevent the city from denying housing to people who get removed from the shelters, which means everyone is eligible to reapply. But first, the city's going to try to convince them to accept a free plane ticket. But if you won't accept a plane ticket, you might have to accept a tent instead.
Okay, you better ask them how them tents working out up there in Chicago, because New York's winters aren't any better. Y'all better ask Chicago. Let me tell you, New York's winters are no better. I've been in both places in the wintertime. November was bad enough. January was worse. Folks, I've been in New York City in January and February. I'm from a little place called Shreveport, Louisiana, which is not a little place, but compared to New York City, it's a little place. Never will forget my first time driving into New York City in the wintertime. Folks, I'm coming up the New Jersey Turnpike. It's It's late January, so my dumb ass is figuring it's going to be like Louisiana. Winter starts tapering off in January. Guess what? New York got another thing coming for you. Late January, I'm bringing my ass up the New Jersey Turnpike. It's like 9 o'clock at night. There is no snow, but it is cold outside. It's very cold. It's 9 o'clock at night. There's no snow. Folks, I'm coming up the New Jersey Turnpike and I hit my, the windshield is getting dirty from bugs. I hit my windshield washer fluid to clean off the windshield. It spurts a little bit and then stops doing anything. I'm thinking that my windshield fluid sprayer must be busted. The windshield washer pump must be busted or something. No. Figured out what happened was it froze the spray nozzles on the windshield washers. Using them, the fluid coming out, it froze the fluid after I did it. And it didn't take minutes to do it. It took seconds to freeze the nozzles. Not minutes, seconds. For fluid that's supposed to be able to deal with cold temperatures. I guess the bottle said cold temperatures except New York and New Jersey. Nigga, you crazy? I've never seen that in my life. It froze the spray nozzles from my windshield. Froze them. And this wasn't no old car. Froze them. Never seen it before. Never knew that was possible, that could happen. Welcome to the Northeast. So if you're in New York City talking about making it in a tent, they're just going to be coming to collect the bodies. They're just going to come collect the bodies in New York City. That's all that's going to be. That is it. They're just coming to collect the body. They might as well just go ahead and bring the dump trucks and start throwing them up in there. That's going to be the end of y'all. So yeah, now they want to start flying them to other cities. Don't believe that mess about overseas. They want to start flying them where we going to be at. They're going to try to find a black city and then start dropping them off by the plane load there. So Atlanta, Cleveland, Baton Rouge, Houston, Memphis. They're going to start trying to drop those plane tickets. They're going to start trying to fly them there. So you all got to be watchful of that, because it'll be your so-called black city council people or your black mayors in Memphis. Your black mayors will be saying, bring in all the illegals. So you got to be watchful of that. That's what's going on now. That's what's going on right now. And on top of all that, I would be remiss if I didn't just touch on one more thing here. Speaking of benign neglect, there are some folks who are trying to keep their in with some people here. Your dude Elon Musk has found himself in some hot water with the Jewish community. He's found himself in some hot water, and I want to show you that he understands how serious his situation is. He understands how bad his situation is. He posted up a video of Ben Shapiro trying to explain away what Elon did. Let's go ahead and watch that, and we'll come back and explain.
Well, they just have some legitimate grievances. Some of the same dynamic has been striking Elon Musk over the course of the last 24 hours. So Musk made a rather large Twitter boo-boo last night. Somebody on Twitter posted the following message, quote, Jewish communities have been pushing the exact kind of dialectical hatred against whites that they claim to want people to stop using against them. I'm deeply disinterested in giving the tiniest bleep now about Western Jewish populations, coming to the disturbing realization that those hordes of minorities that support flooding their country don't exactly like them too much. You want truth said to your face? There it is. So that was the tweet. Musk then tweeted, you have said the actual truth. And this set everything ablaze. So it is true, obviously, that certain Jewish organizations have bought into and promoted things like diversity, equity, and inclusion, which are gross distortions of the American dream. Nobody hates DEI more than I do. There are certain Jewish groups that are liberal in orientation who have supported that sort of stuff. Many of those groups have also pushed for open borders. It is also true that some of those organizations are now realizing post-October 7th that actually open immigration for people who hate Jews on an intersectional basis was pretty stupid. The problem with the original tweet is that it labels Jewish communities en masse. So my community, for example, pretty Jewish, has always opposed DEI and open borders. In fact, most Orthodox communities do. Presumably then, Musk was reading the term Jewish communities and instead seeing the letters ADL. And indeed, that's exactly what Musk then clarified. He said, quote, the ADL unjustly attacks the majority of the West, despite the majority of the West supporting the Jewish people in Israel. This is because they cannot, by their own tenets, criticize the minority groups who are their primary threat. It is not right, and it needs to stop. And then Musk continued, you are right that this does not extend to all Jewish communities. It is not just limited to the ADL. So that's a much more specific point, and it's certainly true. There are a lot of liberal Jewish organizations that supported a lot of the same policies that have now imported a lot of people who really hate Jews and Westerners into the West. And a lot of the very same people who are pushing DEI intersectional politics are now realizing the wages of that.
Yeah, buddy. So old Ben is waiting for another check to clear, apparently. All right, but to show you all that Elon understands how big of a problem and big of a mistake that was, this is from Elon Musk's Twitter page that I'm playing this. And I want you to take a look at Elon's Twitter timeline right after he posts this video trying to explain away what he did. I want you to go ahead and take a look at immediately after that. Okay, they talk about TikTokers, then Starlink. You know, that he's getting our tax dollars, sending rockets into space, and getting our tax dollars for that. Then more Starlink. Let's protect free speech. Got it. Getting back to productive matters. Starlink. Ooh, look, I'm going to launch rockets. Getting back to productive matters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dogecoin 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Take a look at that. 19, 20, 21, 22. 22 stories before he says something about this. They say I'm anti-Semitic. Nothing could be further from the truth. He's never argued that he wasn't anti-black. By the way, he's never argued that. He's never argued that he wasn't anti-black. 23, 24, 25, 26. So take a look at how far he puts up. Dozens of tweets in 24 hours. Dozens. Not one or two. Dozens. And then he comes back to say, I'm not anti-Semitic. The guy who doesn't apologize for anything, I'm not anti-Semitic. Okay. Not anti-Semitic here, boy. I mean, he put dozens of tweets. Dozens. Letting you know how serious this situation is for him. Somebody's letting him know how serious that is. Somebody's tapped him on the shoulder and let him know, it's going to be problems. Oh, so that's how you really feel? Well, look here, dude. Don't be surprised if that little old NASA money can dry up quick. That little NASA money can dry up quick. Okay. Boy, I'm telling you, it didn't take very long, and his attitude toward them is markedly different than his attitude toward us. He ain't standing strong on this now, is he? He's not standing strong there. He's doing it a different way. He's going a different way with it now. He's saying something different. So I just want you all to understand, these other folks didn't take to the streets or nothing. They're just like, okay, well, don't worry. We can go in on you behind the scenes. So I have a suspicion that there's some influential Jewish people who let him know, by the way, your little old Starlink SpaceX money comes through Congress. We can shut that down in a minute. Oh, you know what? Jeff Bezos would love to have your little contract. Jeff Bezos would love to have your little contract. Yes, sir. We can shut this down in just a minute. Just in case you thought we couldn't. So yes, sir, folks, right now, the cost of benign neglect, the cost of getting too full of yourself, the cost of thinking that you can just ignore things, the cost of that, and it's getting higher. The cost is getting higher. It's getting higher across the board. And I have a feeling that that cost is going to continue to escalate, despite what some folks might try to lead you to believe. Oh, the cost is going to continue to escalate. It's gaining interest. These other folks aren't convinced, but by the by, I expect them to become fully convinced. But we'll keep an eye on that. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up here tonight. If you are new here to the Black Channel, welcome to the haven of intelligent black thought. We do this every weekend. Click that red subscribe button. Click that yellow notification bell. Join us each and every time that we're here. If you haven't been to our website, blackchannelfilms.com, you want to go and check out our groundbreaking, best-selling documentary work, 7 a.m., Gentrified, Race War, all available on DVD and streaming. Go to blackchannelfilms.com. That is blackchannelfilms.com. I want to thank everyone who has contributed to support tonight's program on PayPal, CashApp, Super Chat, Venmo. Thank you all for tuning in live or recorded. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing. And this concludes tonight's broadcast of The Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, The Black Authority. And until next time, my brothers and my sisters from around the world, remember, black is the future.